every couple of years, and it usually happens like when, they feel like they've got nothing to talk about. The Fox News rolls out another iteration of a right-wing comedy show. And Greg Gutfeld has been part of a lot of it. Like they had Red Eye that I think Gutfeld got his start on. I think it was Gutfeld. And then they had another show. I can't remember what it was, but it was like their answer to Saturday Night Live or something like that on Fox. It was really short-lived and stunningly atrocious. And people are like, why doesn't right-wing comedy really work?
Well, I mean, you have worked in comedy. I would want to ask you about that, especially because it seems like you're deliberately shunning Greg Gutfeld by mispronouncing his name on a regular basis.
Is it not Gutfeld?
No, I.
Gutfeld. Well, I
thought this was kind of a way to belittle him.
No. I mean, I think we can belittle him by just playing parts of his show.
You're right. That's more efficient.
I will tell you after this why right-wing comedy fails. Here is, I think this is the debut show, right? This is the debut show, guys? Debut, and it's on at 11 p.m.
Look at this.
Here's,
it's got the Jeb exclamation point at the end of it.
Yeah,
it's Gutfeld.
That's why he has that shit-eating grin on his face.
Here we go. Listen to this. This is part of the monologue.
You all made a great choice. For proof, over at MSNBC, let's see what Brian Williams...
He's saying, Gutfeld is saying, you made a great choice in tuning into the show at 11 p.m. So yeah,
because it's meant to compete with the Colberts and it's late night comedy.
You all made a great choice. For proof, over at MSNBC, let's see what Brian Williams is up to right now.
Good evening, I'm Brian Williams, and I am on Mars. Yes, I jumped on a chopper and now I'm on Mars. I've been here for a year now. I built a castle here made of mastodon carcasses and marshmallows. This is where I invented all the COVID vaccines, as well as penicillin, the smartphone, and Fluffernutter.
Some things never change. Meanwhile, what's on CNN?
You, sir, are a racist. Racist, white male racist.
You're the racist.
Awful. That's from the Don Lemon Hour, who reports the news with the same look your mother gave you when she found weed in your sock drawer. As for those late night shows we're supposed to compete against, why bother? Who do they offend?
You can't handle it.
No, can't handle it anymore. Weed in your sock drawer, he was never smoke weed. That's for hippies.
The first joke was about Brian Williams. He told a big lie about
no one does that on
Fox. being in like a thing. It was pretty egregious, and that happened 6 years ago.
I know, it was very topical.
Which is why when they did the joke, no one even laughed, even though it was scoring the political points that they wanted to, laugh about. So here's the reason why right-wing comedy doesn't work. And it is because it's not funny. It's not funny.
Wow.
And it doesn't make you laugh unless you're actually Greg Gutfeld and you're laughing because you want people to think that the joke was funny.
Right. You can't say Gutfeld.
Gutfeld. Feld. What difference does it make?
Yeah, people think things are objectively funny or not, but if you laughed at that, it was literally just because of your insecurities. That hearing somebody say, you're racist, white male, like if that makes you laugh, that says more about you than it says about the writing at Gutfeld.
Well, that was also, I think, like more of like a cheer thing. Like that's the thing, is that they want their comedy to always score points more than they actually want it to be funny. And even when you want like a satire to score points, which is really the point of satire, it's really to illuminate things rather than it is to like sort of own somebody.
Yeah.
They don't understand that concept. And
it's just a different flavor of owning the libs, which is what so much of right-wing, reactionary politics has become. I mean, that's what Trump was.
Exactly. And like there are times where it could be mildly amusing, like Trump could be mildly amusing, but more so just because like it was real.
Yeah.
It's when like oh my God, this guy's the president of the United States. This is insane.
Or just like the bombacity and the fact there's a guy saying this in a presidential campaign. It was more the absurdity, not the cleverness.
Exactly. And the problem with a show like Gutfeld's or Fields or whatever he's calling himself these days is that they're trying to be funny.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it really that much more painful.
It's extremely painful because of he's also just very smug about it too. And does he have a comedy writing background? Like
I'm pro smugness. I think people know that. So
Well-
I'm definitely in favor. I don't think smugness is necessarily disqualifying. And I think he wrote for Maxim. So
like the women's underwear magazine.
yeah.
Is that what they were calling it these days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's certainly why I read Maxim as a teenage boy, is for Gutfeld's great columns.
that's his thing. He's like he's writing comedy for teenage boys, but but
Also,
not funny.
pretty bad a Brian Williams impression. He's got a distinct voice.
that was also impressive. Like, wow. I mean, I feel like I'm not a particularly good impressionist, but I feel like give me 5 minutes and I could come up with a better Brian Williams impression.
Yes.
They really just sort of mailed that whole thing in.
I've got a bit of a palate cleanser of a comedian as his first night as the band leader on Gutfeld.
Oh, all right. Let's check
Oh
this
my
out.
God, there's a band.
Oh, bummer. Where do you come up with this stuff, Greg? Haha, Greg, Joe Biden is not young. Gutfeld? Oh man, Greg, you're killing harder than Hillary. Benghazi. I guess I'll just AOC myself out. Okay, you're crazy, Greg, but the welfare state is corrosive to our beautiful Constitution. Well, another Gutfeld gutbuster. Come on, Greg, you're gonna make me spit out my liberal tears. Greg, you are wild. You got more bite than Major Biden. Gutfeld? Oh, bum.
That's actually, that's the beauty. I mean, to a certain extent, Gutfeld is inspiring a lot of great comedy. It's just really coming more at his expense.
Yeah, and again, they deride the liberals for liking whatever late night comedy and they say, oh, it's just ridiculous that Hollywood doesn't represent us, and then they try to and they can't fit in. They desperately want to be a part of the thing that they think is
It's going to be
lame. They say
fascinating to
is
see
lame.
if it works there, how long they'll give that a chance to continue on. But I this is the way they're going to bring in the young people to that network. Very exciting. Yeah. One of the other ways that they may. Here's this is Gutfeld on his on the round table, all right? I guess they do some like
Bill Maher-esque thing.
Yeah. What is this? Gutfeld is trying to make the
He's talking about Amazon and like the story and trying to like set it.
Oh, okay. So they're covering the news. Yeah, here we go. How is this different from the 5? I don't know.
I happen to think that this story is unfair to the drivers who, let's face, are, they're driving. They have to use the facilities, so they need to whatever. I don't even know how to discuss this.
Well, that was an excellent question, Greg. Look.
Oh, I do, and they're talking about he feels bad for the drivers because we're saying because we've told on Amazon that they basically don't provide for their drivers and that they've got to pee in a bottle.
That's funny.
I feel like the drivers have been making these disclosures themselves, actually.
Can you guys go back to the logo on the floor? Why does it look like it's some sort of Cheetos thing? Like it looks like either Garfield or I don't know. It looks like some sort of cheesy fast food.
Gutfeld, there it is. Yeah.
It looks like the Garfield logo.
It looks like the
It
Garfield.
does look like Garfield.
This is
Cheetos.
They are trying
Meets
to
Jed.
have a funny font.
Yeah, I mean, like they have to make it, like the Cheese Whiz can that you see at ShopRite.
This is Red Eye. They're doing Red Eye. They're just doing it at earlier, and they called it Gutfeld. Well, all right,
I mean, like, okay, the whole set's blue, and yet you have an orange. It looks like shit, is what I'm trying to say.
all right.